Hello and welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Ball Games. We have the Solution versus Red-Green Sligh. The Solution looking to have all of the answers in the form of counter spells, board wipes, spot removal, you name it. They just want to be able to, both in a tempo sense and a hard control sense, make sure that nothing gets too out of hand on the other side of the table. But unlike the typical control decks in the format, they're not playing just a couple of win conditions like a cycled Decree of Justice. They're going to have Lightning Angel, Meddling Mage, some actual bodies which can put some meaningful pressure on your opponent's life total. And we have a Jackal Pup and a Grim Lavamancer coming down. Swords to Plowshares taking out that first Jackal Pup. Now Memory Lapse, getting Grim Lavamancer to the top of the deck. Not really ideal use of Memory Lapse as far as how you draw it up. Now it does deny Sligh a card drawn as the card goes on top of the library. But you're trading 2 mana for 1 mana, which is not exactly at its most powerful. Of course, memory lapsing a card like Fire Blast, that's really ideal, where your opponent had to make some type of sacrifice of resources that they don't recoup. When they draw the card again the next time, they might not even be able to make that same choice. Lightning Angel going upstairs. And Incinerate to the face during the end step. Actually, different art on Incinerate. Gold bordered as well. Love that most of Burn is available in gold border. Lightning Bolt and Grim Lavamancer team up to take out the Lightning Angel. And Sligh with 2 creatures on board, only 12 points of life left on the other side. I believe we see a Wrath of God, which has got to be incoming here. Get the old 2-for-1. Oh, that actually looks like it was right off the top. Classic Quentin Hoover art as well. Does the same as the card in the slideshow, however. Destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Actually made the mistake so long ago playing against a Spirit Monger where I did not play Wrath of God because in my head I was like, oh, he'll just regenerate it anyways. Still think about that. That was like 20 years ago and still haunts me. Probably more than 20. All right, Exalted Angel is being cast here. That does not line up particularly well with Mog Fanatic. Or for Mog Fanatic, I should say. Oh, but actually, scratch that. Fanatic happy to sacrifice himself to take out the Angel in addition to that Fire Blast. So 4 damage from a hard cast Fire Blast. Sligh totally out of cards. Drawing a card for turn. Now back up to 2. That Angel certainly would have ended the game. And now a Meddling Mage. This is going to close things out on its own if unanswered. With only 2 cards in hand. Got to get some type of board presence. Oh, talk about board presence. Call of the Herd. That is a lot of power in a single card. Memory Lapse is going to push that away for now. And that's the reason for the splash. That is a ton of damage stapled onto a single card. A pair of tokens, potentially. We got another Memory Lapse. So trading card for card. Memory Lapse in hand. The card that would have been drawn the next turn. Now, where Memory Lapse is really at its strongest, too, is when you're drawing extra cards. So far, the Solution hasn't been getting any extra cards in hand. Fact or Fiction, Accumulated Knowledge, anything like that can really help. Oh, flashback of Call of the Herd. This one eats a mana leak. So only getting 3 damage on board, but that does stabilize against this Meddling Mage, the 3/3. Vastly superior there. Certainly an argument for playing around mana leak this late in the game. Could have just played that flashback of Call of the Herd on the following turn. But it is very attractive to try and get 12 damage, or 6 damage on board when your opponent's at 12. Just 2 turns to close it out. Seal of Cleansing, an immediate answer to this Cursed Scroll. Scroll at least did its damage, taking care of that Meddling Mage. It can also take out this Lightning Angel, because there will be an inevitable block here. I mean, you just have to swing in. It's not going to get any better. There's the block, and he is playing Shock. Oh, he missed 2 points of damage there. Hard. Oh, sorry. The Curse Scroll's already gone. We're moving at a blistering pace. My bad. Shock actually finishes it off as the Curse Scroll's unable to do that. It's in the graveyard thanks to Seal of Cleansing. Card that's doesn't have a ton of targets here. Factor Fiction. Oh, yikes. I mean, that's all terrible. That is all absolutely terrible. I mean, we're looking at next turn, hardcast Exalted Angel, or this turn, hardcasting the Lightning Angel. That puts you on a 2 more turns clock after this one. A single connection from the Exalted Angel is almost certainly game over as well. This is a nightmare. Yeah. Gross. None of this is good. I can't really think of a reasonable way to split this. This is pretty terrible. I guess you can let us know in the comments how you would split this, if you can see any way of making this not just a total disaster. But, I mean, I think we've got a clock looking to wrap this whole situation up very quickly. And an impulse. Meddling Mage is a problem too. That'll cut off any potential outs. Something like a Price of Progress, no longer part of the option. Down to 7. 2, 3, 4. Price of Progress would be lethal here. Lava Dart. Going upstairs. Don't know that I actually understand that choice. Lava Dart might be more useful later. Combined with a Lightning Bolt, for example, to take out this Lightning Angel. Now we have a Meddling Mage. And one more turn. Call of the Herd not going to be helpful here. Shock upstairs. And the top of the deck, does it bail him out? It does not, and we are on to the next one. That Factor Fiction, just a nail in the coffin. Kind of a wide open game. That just blew it to smithereens. Just an incredible back and forth game. Could have went in anyone's direction. Tons of live draws for Sligh that could have closed it out. Life totals low. It was just on a knife's edge. Well played by Audrey. The solution did have just enough answers here, starting out with a Mog Fanatic. And Phyrexian Furnace. I don't know if I bring that in here. I mean, that will stop Barbarian Ring and Grim Lavamancer for the most part. And he does have a Grim Lavamancer. I guess the issue is it's very easy to get cards into the graveyard for Grim Lavamancer. Just to be able to activate him. I don't know that you're really going to contain him. Now, you're going to stop them from having a pile of cards in their graveyard. But in terms of clearing something like a Meddling Mage, you could easily get 2 cards into the graveyard, even with a Phyrexian Furnace on the other side. Be able to respond to the activation with a fetch or a removal spell. Get that extra damage out of the Grim Lavamancer. Fire Ice. Oh, that is a very good Wrath of God right there. 2 mana instant. Fire Ice just clearing the board. And now Warmth. This is a Haymaker sideboard card. I'm actually low on this one. Got to go through some Tempest cards, see if I can find some more of them. Whenever an opponent successfully casts a red spell, you gain 2 life. That is so much life. Makes it virtually impossible for red to burn you out. Phyrexian Furnace. Going to stop Barbarian Ring, which I don't even think would be in this list if I'm being honest. If I'm running red-green, I probably don't have room for Barbarian Ring. Mog Fanatic chipping away. No more red spells played. Non-basics piling up. And now we've got the Exalted Angel face down. That's going to get shocked. Kind of have to go for it there. If they don't have the shock and you're able to flip that Exalted Angel, you're just in immediate game-winning territory. Let's proceed right to the end game. But he did have the shock. And a Swords to Plowshares. Takes out Mog Fanatic. It's like Lightning Angel can show up. There it is. Ooh, Red Elemental Blast. That lines up really well with the 4-mana spell. There is a blue pip in there. Red, white, and blue. Blue part's all that Red Elemental Blast cares about. The difference between Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast actually comes up in Premodern. Misdirection's legal in the format. Urza's Bauble. I suppose that'd be a good topic for another video. Red Elemental Blast, a little bit more fixed in its ways. Pyroblast, you can misdirect towards any permanent or any spell. Easier to protect a Meddling Mage if they're Pyroblasting it instead of Red Blasting it. Incinerate gets memory lapsed. And now another Red Blast pushing things through. Also, it's a life gain thanks to the warmth. Another Red Elemental Blast in hand. Mog Fanatic. It's a long way to go for a 1-1. He failed in his mission. Just showing up actually let Warmth gain 2 life, and then he sacrificed to take away 1 of it. Never even got that attack in, so the wheel's very much just spinning in place right now. A Meddling Mage. And this is a clock. There is a Red Elemental Blast in hand. Sulfuric Vortex. And boy, I am not going to lie. You do not counter this. Oh, he tries to counter it and then actually counters back. Interesting. So, I mean, with a Meddling Mage in play, you could like let this Sulfuric Vortex resolve. That's totally fine. It's actually helping you. Now, an Enlightened Tutor grabs Seal of Cleansing, which is fine. You might need to get rid of the Sulfuric Vortex at some point, but with Warmth in play, your opponent does play some spells. You've got the option to blow up the Sulfuric Vortex with the life gain triggers on the stack. And yeah, just takes out the Vortex immediately. Strong disagree. Let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, at this point, I'm just taking the 4 damage a turn clock. Sligh is definitely losing in this position. Just 2 cards in hand, it looks like. This might be a little bit of a tunnel vision situation. Maybe not. Could be playing around Price of Progress. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 non-basics. Another Meddling Mage. It also depends on what Meddling Mage is naming. I would probably assume Price of Progress, but that may not be the case. It's certainly the most damaging card that the deck could have access to in this board state. We got a Fire Blast. That takes out Meddling Mage. And it's actually in response to the other one. So you can go back to naming what the original one was naming, assuming it's Price of Progress. We do have some nice tokens for future games. We'll try and encourage the players to use those, make things clearer for everyone at home. I appreciate the players using our iPhone there, keeping the life totals at the bottom of the screen. This type of match hangs by those tiny little differences in life totals. So important. You need that context to understand the decisions that are actually being made. Warmth. Doing some work. Grim Lavamancer now. Wrath of God taking out a lone Grim Lavamancer. Impulse, digging. At this point, just looking to find any type of threat. Only 8 life left. Passing back and forth. That does not favor Sligh. Sligh really needs a presence. Probably the best possible card you could have here. Call of the Herd. It is not red. We have a mana leak. Don't know how I feel about that. He was able to pay it. Wrath of God mops everything up. Misdirection. That is a very powerful card when you're throwing around Fire Blasts. At this point, over the initial starting life, so I would say the solution is in very good shape here. 1-1. 6 life left for Sligh. Cursed Scroll. That immediately gets hit with a Disenchant. Might as well spin the wheel. 3 cards in hand. It's a Sulfuric Vortex. I mean, that does kind of indicate the type of game that it is. Sligh is not playing the Sulfuric Vortex. I don't know that you actually needed to get rid of the other one. Game would have been over quite a long time ago. Hydroblast taken off of an Impulse. And another Impulse. That finds a Lightning Angel and is looking to close this out, taking as little damage as possible from that mana base. One more hit. Don't believe we're looking at a hand that can do 15 damage against a Warmth. No, there's the handshake, as the solution does have all the answers versus this red-green Sligh deck.